I used to be extremely good with numbers. And this isn't a flex. This isn't like me trying to like gas myself up, because it's not true anymore. I'm literally stupid. But when I was a kid, when I was younger, like elementary school, even going into middle school, I was so good with numbers and so good with math that like most of my teachers were like, holy shit, this kid's a genius. And I know it's like 3rd grade. It's like 4th, 3rd grade, okay? So like, I understand it's not a flex, but when I was in like 3rd grade, you know, like when you used to learn like multiplication, my school did this fun little cool thing where all the 3rd grade classes in the school basically played around the world, and basically some person was standing, then the next person would stand up, and then you get asked a multiplication problem, and then whoever lost would sit down, whoever won would go next. And we did a class-wide one in the gym, and I did a rotation of the entire 3rd grade class 3 times, and they made me sit because I just couldn't lose. And they were even trying to like trick me up a little bit, and it just wouldn't. I just couldn't lose. Like, I was just so good at it. It was insane. And then I hit middle school, and my parents got divorced, and I became kind of, I wouldn't say edgy. It was more of like, I just kind of like just stopped caring about school. So I wouldn't do my homework and shit, but I would ace every test, no problem, because it was so easy. And then I hit high school, and it was still easy. But then I had a really, really bad concussion that I never told anyone. Sorry, I mean, I told people, but I didn't tell like medical staff or doctor or anybody. But I got hit really, really hard one time, like cheap shotted on a play downfield. And you know, when a plays downfield, nobody's looking at fucking, like, if someone's running in for a touchdown, nobody's looking back at the 40-yard line. Just doesn't happen. And this kid fucking, like, kind of cheap shotted me, and I fucking whipped my head off the ground. And when I came to after like I don't even know how long I was out. I wasn't out very long though, because like the play had just finished. I like stood up and everything was purple, like blue and purple, and I was like, that's not good. And I just like tilted my helmet a little bit, just like puked on the ground really fast, and nobody saw it. And I was like, gave it a little kick because it's on turf, and then I just fucking walked over to the sidelines, and I still played the rest of that game. And I remember I got yelled at a lot that game because I was lost. Like I was fucking drive blocking on pass plays. It was bad. But ever since then, I haven't been able to do math very well. It's one of the things I regret the most, because I went to a school that was like all boys school. It was very much like, you know, a lot of, I guess for the lack of a better term, like alpha energy, quote unquote. Like nobody wants to be like the weak one, etc. So I didn't want to report that I got a concussion, even though I knew I had one, and it was bad. Dude, that whole week I was like going to class and shit, and I was fucking like holding my hands over my eyes. It was bad. It was really bad. So I'm convinced ever since then I hadn't been able to do math very well. I can do basic math, but nothing like close to what I ever went to before. And I went from like calculus classes to what was called, what was it called? Was it technically called remedial? I think it was called remedial, which was basically the stupid kid's senior math class. It was bad, and so yeah. Anyways.